8:30 on this Monday morning. Two huge sports stories affecting many Western New York sports fans in one day. So we had to bring in News 4 sports reporter and anchor Lauren Brill. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Coming off of a weekend high, I'd say, huh?
Yeah, it's been a busy weekend,
okay,
to
so
say the least.
Let's start with it. First and foremost, of course, Doug Marrone from Syracuse moving unofficially, I guess at this point, to Buffalo to head coach the Buffalo Bills. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, they're still putting the final touches on the contract. An interesting choice. He comes from a college program, only 4 years as a head coach. He went 25 and 25 there, but he did turn around a program. He took over a program that was really struggling and needed a culture change, kind of like the Bills need. And the program was 7 seasons of losing seasons, and then he turned the program around. He does have experience in the NFL. He coached for 3 years under Sean Payton as the Saints offensive coordinator, and he also was the Jets offensive lineman coach. So he does bring with him NFL experience. Only 4 years as a head coach, but has a reputation of being very disciplined, very intense, something that the Bills definitely need to kind of change the culture and turn things around. So he kind of did the same thing at Syracuse, and they're hoping he can bring what he did in Syracuse to the Buffalo Bills. Okay,
so I guess that would have helped lead them to their decision to pick Marrone as their new head coach. Of course, we're waiting to hear more information today at a press conference that's hopefully taking place this afternoon. Players, though, I'm sure have a strong reaction to this also, and you spoke to Brian Scott yesterday. What did he have to say?
We actually spoke to both Brian Scott and Eric Wood, and they both were very, very positive on Marrone. They said that he is the guy that they believe can lead this team. Brian Scott actually did play for him, or played on a team that he was coaching. He was on that Saints team on the defensive side, but was able to see Marrone in action and said he's an intense guy, he's a good coach, and someone that people respect, so he thinks he'll be able to get the job done. And we also spoke to Eric Wood, who said he's excited to play for him.
Let's hear what one of them had to say, Brian Scott. Let's take a listen to the sound.
The intensity and strict coaching definitely was Coach Payton. I don't know how much of that had to do with Coach Marrone, or if he got that from Coach Payton, but it yielded success.
So that's the pretty big deal, is that he has been successful.
Yeah, and well, Coach Payton is one of the best offensive minds in football, so that's huge to be able to have worked under him. And I think that experience is almost even more valuable than the college experience.
Sure.
I think the college experience gave him the leadership skills and the experience as a head coach, but the experience under Sean Payton, I think, is really valuable moving forward, as he's obviously now in the NFL.
So from the NFL to the NHL, the lockout, I guess almost all but over at this point.
Well, they're just putting the final touches on the deal, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. This deal still needs to be ratified by both the players and the owners, but a framework for the deal is in place, which is obviously huge, something they couldn't get done before. They agreed on salary cap, they agreed on players' pension, all sticking points throughout this whole process. So that's a huge deal for them. The training camp could start as soon as Friday or Saturday,
wow,
and we can get things going by the January 19th is when they want the start date to be.
January 19th, the absolute latest, January 15th, the earliest, so we will have to keep our eyes on the ice, so to speak, and see what happens.
Yeah, it'll probably be a 50 to 48 game season, so that's what they're aiming for, and it should be exciting.
Best sports coverage in Western New York. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's send things over now to Emily Lenahan, who's standing by with a .com check. Hey, Em.